Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's football game. I'm Devin Penner here with Wayne Jaworski, and we're going to be covering the Fairview Middle School versus Waverly playoff game. And from what I've heard is Fairview's had a pretty good season this year, and I'm very excited to see what happens. As you can see on the team looks very excited to play, and Fairview is deferred to the second half. So it looks like Waverly will be receiving for this first half, and Waverly is ready to go, jumping out there pretty quick, even before the captains get off the field. So we should be getting this underway pretty soon.
I like that intensity.
What do you think is going to be happening tonight, Wayne? What are you seeing?
Well, I'm kind of going for Fairview defense. They've been doing really good this year, and I'm sure they're going to continue with that effort.
Oh, yeah. Fairview is very much known for their defense, even throughout their middle school into their high schools. The defense is very hard-nosed here in these parts. I'm also looking forward to some offense. I've seen a few of these scrimmages and a few games, and Fairview's got some good runners. It's fairly reminiscent of back when we played middle school.
Yeah.
They have a running back that number 22 that runs a lot like me. Number 23, the running back for Fairview Middle, runs a lot like Chris Conley. Their fullback runs a lot like Ethan Cassidy, and it's very, very reminiscent of our middle school team our 8th grade year when we went 8-1, had a very good season. It looks like this team's on track to do the same kind of thing, and looking for another playoff championship this year. But it all comes down to tonight, actually one game at a time, as I always like to say. And Waverly looks ready to play, and they look like they got some weapons on their team, and it looks like we're ready to go. And the ball is kicked off, and a great booming kick down to the 15 and rolls back. And he receives it and trying to get some yards, and the Fairview kickoff team swarms them. That's great kickoff coverage. What do you think about it, Wayne?
Well-coached special teams.
Yeah, special teams wins ball games in a lot of situations. That's what I like to say. You can't look past special teams. A lot of players say, well, I need a break on special teams, but NFL players get paid millions of dollars just to be special teams players, and it looks like Fairview Middle School's got potentially like 11 players who could play in the NFL with that kickoff coverage right there. The ball's going to be spotted, it looks like, on the 10-yard line. And Waverly offense comes out. They're going to be in a shotgun formation.
We're going to be in a 5-3.
Yeah, Fairview defense in a 5-3. It's a classic defense for Fairview. And it looks like we're blitzing. And we have a flag on the very first play. Let's see what the call is. I'm going to go with offsides on Fairview.
That's what I'm thinking.
But let's see what the ref calls. Offsides. False start on Waverly.
Oh.
And I don't know where that quite came from. I didn't see that, Wayne.
I did not either, Devin.
I was looking on the Fairview side.
I think the reason why you thought that was because maybe the false start had happened and linebacker had read it and went through it.
All right, well, Waverly's offense is coming back out, and in a very similar formation as before, except on the opposite side of the field. The ball is snapped to the quarterback, and it's going to be a quarterback sweep, breaking out to the outside. And a hit. That was a hit by number 23. That was a great hit right there, and that's what Wayne was talking about earlier with that Fairview defense really stepping up. Gains about 5 on the play, but he definitely is going to remember that 5 yards with that kind of a hit.
Yeah, Devin, I really like how the quarterback did read his blocks, though. It was a pretty good effort by him. Even though he took a hit, he still read his blocks very well.
And he jumped right back up from it and got back in the huddle, and I always like to see that in athletes, not sulking after kind of a hit like that. Waverly offense is going to come back out again.
Come back in the 5-3 look for the defense.
Yeah, and the offense is in that shotgun formation again. It's a weird-looking offense, and they're going to quarterback sweep to the other side. And the quarterback not reading his block so well. And wow, what a hit by number 5. That defense is really stepping up. I'm liking Wayne's predictions here. This defense is really stepping it up in this first series and laying some licks on that quarterback. But what it looks like to me is that the quarterback could be the player for Waverly. That's 3 times in a row that he was gotten the ball on a quarterback sweep, so you may be looking at 20 or so carries tonight.
Yeah, he might be trying to lull the defense into a running situation and then try and pass it off.
Yeah, many coaches do try to lull the defense to sleep by passing and then tossing one over their DB's heads. It's good coaching. And Waverly's going to come out again in this shotgun formation. If I was a betting man, he's going to run a sweep to the left, and he does, man.
Oh,
and that
he's running.
And he's run down by a lineman. That's just a great play. Athleticism on the line, running down the play right there. And the offense goes nowhere on this first drive, maybe gaining about 5 yards after the penalty.
It's a good job for the defense stepping up.
Way to step it up. The offense is going to come back out. Looks like they're going to go under center in a wing C type formation,
Yeah.
I would say. And a false start again, I would guess. That's my guess if flag's being thrown that early. And that's just, the refs point to the Fairview side, so let's see what the call is. Just this many penalties and it's offsides Fairview. This many penalties on the first drive is not a good thing. That's 2. But luckily it wasn't on Waverly. That could be bad. I mean, that's just a drive killer right there.
Yeah, you really have to watch the ball, or else you could really put yourself in a bad situation.
Yeah, Waverly's going back under center. Let's see what happens here. They're going to shift, and it looks like they're just shifting to a punt formation, so Waverly's going to punt it away. And he gets it off after almost being blocked. That's good special teams right there.
Good penetration.
And number 23 is just going to let it go. Smart play, great field position. No need to try to pick it up and make a dumb mistake. There's no need for that. They've got great field position. The ball is going to fall onto the 35-yard line, it looks like, or the 45. Hey, or no, that is the 35. My bad. My eyes can't see as far down there as I'd like them to.
Yeah.
So, that's just good field position right there. It puts a lot of pressure on the Waverly defense, and let's see if the Waverly defense can respond like Fairview's defense did.
Yeah, it's good for the defense. Give them credit because they have put them in such a good position.
Yeah, they did. And Fairview's going to line up in a power I, and I like the power I. It's classic stuff, and it's effective.
Their defense seems to be predicting it.
Oh, and a fumble on the snap, but it looks like it's not going to matter. Still gaining about 3 or 4 yards on the play.
That's good hard running right there.
Yeah, that's good running.
23.
Well, I think number 22 was on the run right there. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Can't quite see down there. But that was a good run, especially after a play could have fallen apart with the bad snap.
Yeah. That's a good job by the quarterback to pick it up.
To pick it up and get the ball off. That's great. That's just for concentration right there. Looks like Waverly's defense could be set up in, what, a 4-4? Maybe?
I think so.
I'm thinking of 4-4. And Fairview offense is going to come back out in a power I.
Defense is probably going to be.
Yeah, they're just going to be pounding the run. And in a weird motion, it's going to be a sweep to the right. Number 22 gets the ball again and reads his block. Great block downfield. And just reading his blocks a spin. And that's good running right there. And nobody's going to bring him down.
Yeah, that's a good call by the coaches because I'm sure they were trying to set it up to make it look like a power I run, and he sweep it out to the right, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, and I think the ref is signaling for a first down. That's just a good hard run right there. The Waverly defense did not appear like they wanted any of that. And it did not. And so the Fairview defense moves the ball after 2 plays. It gets a first down, and the ball will be spotted on the 25-yard line. And like I said earlier, it's just great field position, and as an offense, you have to capitalize on it.
And they did.
It just helps a lot of things out in the game if you can just get the ball that close.
Especially on second downs and stuff. It just brings your moral up.
And Fairview's going to line up in a wing T-type formation again in motion. And just a fullback dive up the middle and gains about 5 yards.
Yeah, I think they were looking for a sweep again because it worked so well the play before.
Yeah, and that was just a great push by the line,
Yeah.
That, like I said earlier, it's fairly reminiscent of when we used to run a wedge with Ethan Cassidy right up the middle, just push it for 5 or 6 yards a pop.
It's good for the linemen, though, because if you didn't have a lineman, you wouldn't be able to run it.
Yeah, linemen are the heart and soul of the team. They don't really get much credit in the press or anything, but if you play ball, you know how it goes, and that you can't do anything without your line. And it looks like Fairview's got a very stout line, and they're pushing hard. And Fairview's going another power I again. Oh, and it could go either way.
It looks like encroachment on.
Yeah, it looks like encroachment on the defense, but you never know. Refs sometimes call the false start first. So we'll see what it is. I would like to go with encroachment on this one. And he is going encroachment on the defense. That's an easy 5 yards for Fairview right there.
Yeah, penalties really hurt a team. You got to make sure you're watching the ball every play.
Yeah, that's 2 penalties on Waverly right now just in these first 2 drives, and puts Fairview on the 18-yard line. And once again, it's just, they need to push it in right now in order to make a difference in this game. Looks like Waverly's got a pretty good-sized linebacker right there. Looks like he could lay some licks on some guys. I don't know if the coaches got planned to run away from him. But you never know. It looks like they may be running straight at them just to prove that they're not scared. That's one thing Fairview's known for, is not being scared of anybody. They'll play the best of the best and the biggest and not care about it. And they are lining up in a power I. And
that linebacker's blitzing.
And they did suck him up with a run and a great pass to number 5. The fullback snuck out of the backfield, but overthrown a little bit. But that was a great setup. That fullback came out of the backfield and was unaccounted for by the DBs and linebackers and was wide open. And, just happened to be a bad pass. And so, you can't help it sometimes. It's too wide open. It was what I like to call it.
Again, with the line, I really like how the linebacker tried to blitz in. They double-teamed him and stopped him right there at the line.
Yeah. And that's a great fake by the quarterback. Had me going. And Fairview's going to come back out. And looks like they're going spread. Quite possibly a spread formation.
5-3 on defense.
Yeah.
Back to 4.
Yeah, and they're, I don't know, I think we're looking pass here. And no, running right up the middle, number 23 gets the ball, and he's breaking it outside, and he's going to take it down. Oh, is it a touchdown? Touchdown, Fairview Middle School, and that's a great run right there.
I love how he disrupted the angle of the linebacker because he was running at him. He had a good angle, and he bounced outside.
Yeah.
Disrupted it.
And it looked like he was going to be forced out of bounds, but he lowered that shoulder and got right into that end zone, knocked that pylon over, and there is no question that was a touchdown. Right then. Great play, great run by number 23, and it really looks like the Fairview Middle School football team has come out to play this evening, and it could be exciting. Looks like we're going to be going for 2 on this play, and we got him in motion, and the quarterback's going to run it, and he's going to get in. And he stopped short on the 1-yard line. Man, that's a run. That looked like a lot like the flash formation that we run. Probably still there from when Chris Hughes was at the middle school again. He brought that up to the high school, and it's a play we run a lot, and that looked a lot like it, except that was a direct snap to the quarterback. Could have been a blown-up play, which is why he may have broke it outside.
I think that he was booting it out like that, made it almost look like a pass play, so they were trying to find out the receivers who were open. And then when he did, he followed his block, and he almost made it in for 2.
Yeah. So right now in the game, it's Fairview 6, Waverly nothing. And, man, that like I said before, those extra points could be crucial in a game. You can lose a game by a point or you can lose by 2 points, I mean, middle schools aren't quite known for kicking field goals, but, I know coaches are very happy when they can kick a field goal and not have to go for 2 every time. Fairview looks like they're lining up for a kick. And we have number 3 for Waverly line. Looks like number 3 line back there for the kick, and another number I can't quite see from here. Again, sorry viewers, I can't quite read numbers from here. My eyesight's not what it should be at this young age. And the kick is off, and the kick wasn't as deep as it was last time, so Waverly should get some better field position. It looks like number 1 is the number. He's breaking it outside and gets, on the 26-yard line. That's not bad field position.
I know, but I like how the tackler for Fairview, he wrapped up and he grabbed a hold of the jersey and did not let go.
Once again, great pursuit by the kickoff team for Fairview Middle School. Let's see if Waverly can capitalize on not great field position, but better than the previous drive. And it's always easier to kind of move the ball when you don't feel that end zone sneaking up on your backside, Waverly's going to come out again. I'm guessing they're going to line up in the spread formation again. And like I said earlier, it could be possible that they would run a quarterback sweep here. It seems that that's their main guy, that they want to have the ball. And and they're going to reverse it outside. That's a great play. Running that QB sweep several times and then bringing the counter right behind it for about 6 yards. That's just a great play call right there. Totally caught the defense off guard, and the ball runner ran hard.
Yeah,
gained some yards, and that's good. That's good momentum for the drive so far,
Pretty good way for Waverly to bounce back a little bit from their previous drive.
Waverly making some substitutions right now. Fairview's probably still lining up in a 5-3 defense, just classic defensive stuff. 5-3. Waverly's going to line up. It looks like in a spread formation again. It's a bit odd. They're lining up their receivers tight and their wingbacks right behind them, and they're going to run that quarterback sweep again. And he runs hard and maybe gains 2, maybe. Like it's great pursuit by the Fairview defense. They're hitting hard tonight.
If the quarterback would have bounced out a little bit, he probably would have gained a few more yards.
Yeah, it's all about reading your blocks. And it's about 3rd and 4, and the ball is being spotted at the 30, looks like the 34-yard line. So Waverly gaining some yards, but still, 3rd and 4. It's up passing down, 3rd and 4. They've run that play, that QB sweep many times, so Fairview should be looking for that. But it looks like Waverly's going to line up in the wing tee. And we're going to see what they can do out of it. I'm looking maybe a boot pass or something, but they're just going to pitch it out, and they're going to counter it. And Fairview jumps on it like crazy. It looks like they may have known that was coming.
Lost a few yards on that.
Yeah,
Good
they
job by
did.
the pursuit for the defense.
Great pursuit. And it's evident that the coaches watched some film on this team and got some plays. And so it's now 4th and 5 on the Waverly's 34-yard line.
For Waverly, I think this is the time where you get your team together and say, hey, let's pick it up, guys. We got to pick it up.
Yeah, overcoming adversity, and if Waverly can manage a first down right here, then that'll be huge momentum, for the rest of the drive. And hopefully, maybe they could punch something in the end zone, but you never know. It's a 4th down situation. It looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field.
I think Waverly's might be able to go for it right here.
Oh, yeah, and that may be the end of the quarter, actually. And so after the end of 1, it's Fairview 6, Waverly nothing. And I'm actually enjoying the game so far. It's a great game. Fairview playing hard. Waverly probably should distribute the ball some other places a little more than they have been, but you can't jib Fairview's defense at all. They're just playing tough defense. And that's just that's a key to a game. You can have an all-star running back and all that, but if your defense isn't stout, all those points aren't going to matter.
I love how Fairview, they pursued every time, every game. They're always pursuing to the ball, never quit, pick up the ball, take it back, score a touchdown, and that's how it works.
Yeah, that's just good football right there, classic stuff. Any older person watching the game right now would definitely agree that Fairview's playing an older style of football with a power-out formation and a 5-3 defense and just power football. And that's just it's fun to watch, man on man.
Yeah.
The way it should be from the beginning of time is how it should be. And they're just playing tough right now. It's hard to stop a team that's just playing real hard.
I'm wondering how Waverly's going to make some adjustments to their offense and defense.
Yeah. Fairview coming back out on the field, ready to go, showing Waverly they're not scared to play. They're ready to go right now. There needs not be a break for a quarter. They will play through it. I'm interested to see what Waverly's going to do right now. 4th and 4. They're down 6, and it's quite possible that they could go for it. It may not be a punting down for them. But as we saw earlier, that Waverly's going to probably line up if they do punt in that wing T type formation, and then motion or shift into a punt formation.
Devin, I think that it would be a good idea maybe to do a punt fake right here and then show Fairview that they got something going for them.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're going for a punt right now. They're lining up in the offense, and it could be another quarterback sweep. I'm not sure. Hopefully they'd be willing to change it up a little bit. And it is another quarterback sweep. Great blocking on the outside, and one gets loose, and quarterback tries to make a move on the inside and slips up a little bit, and that's rough. You're losing that many yards on a play, and it puts Fairview on the 24-yard line. That's just great field position right there. You can't ask for anything better. And once again, like I said earlier, with that kind of field position, you have to score. And that's one thing that could be going against Waverly right now, is that they've given the Fairview offense the ball in great territory, and maybe if they punted away, got some good punts off, and got Fairview on the other side of the 50, the offense may not be able to produce as many yards and as many scores as they can. But that's not how the case is. So we're going to see what Fairview's going to do, and hopefully they can capitalize on the situation they've been given right now. They're going to line up in a spread formation, and he's dropping back to pass. And it's just a hot pass to number 22, and he drops it. And he probably heard some footsteps. It looked like that linebacker was sitting on it right there, and he was about to lay a lick. What do you think about it, Wayne?
I really like how the linebacker read that play right there. He was waiting on him, and if he would have made the catch, he probably would have tackled him pretty hard.
Yeah, and that's just one of those times as a player you kind of have to buckle up the chin strap and get ready to go, because big hits like that happen. I know, like back there at safety, I like to hit some people coming across the middle sometimes, just to kind of send a message that you're ready to play. And as a receiver, the best thing to counteract that kind of a hit is to say, yeah, you hit me, but I still got the ball, and I just gained some yards on you. And so Fairview's going to line up in a power I again. And false start on Fairview. It looks like the quarterback went under center, and he was just trying to get set back up. But he can't do that, so false start, and then Fairview's going to lose 5 yards. So it's going to be 2nd and 15 Fairview on the, looks like 30 or 29-yard line.
And again, Devin, as a receiver, you got to know that you're going to take some hits. You got to buckle it up.
Oh, most definitely. And they are subbing in for the guy who just false started. Coaches don't like that.
Yeah.
Silly penalties can kill a drive and even can lose a game for you. Right now for the high school team, we're averaging 10 penalties a game. And it's surprised that we are, at 4-1 right now, it's rough. Having that many penalties in a game being that good is kind of a testament to our coaching staff. And it looks like they're going to counter it. And
a little juke move,
breaking a couple tackles, only gaining about 2 or 3 yards though. But that's a pretty good run considering how many the Waverly's defense players were surrounding the ball. That's just a good run by number 23.
Although he did break it, it is a good job by Waverly's defense to swarm and attack.
Oh, that was a great job. And Waverly's got Fairview's offense in a position that the Fairview defense has put the Waverly offense in many times. So maybe the Waverly defense can capitalize on this. They've got the momentum right now.
It's a good job by Waverly's defense.
Oh, yeah, swarming the ball. And it looks like Waverly is crowding the box. It looks like they're sending everybody right now. He just kind of pitches it outside. Number 22 is going. Flag is thrown. That's unfortunate. But 22 is breaking it, and it looks like he scores.
It might be a holding call.
It may be a holding call, and it may get called back. And that's rough when you have a run like that. That was a great run by 22, using his speed and athleticism to get outside of everybody.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, and getting it brought back. That's rough.
But while playing football, you got to have a short mind, get over what you've done.
Get over it. And hopefully 22 is not going to down his teammates for that one, because sometimes it just happens, and you can't help it. Let's just see. And they're going to move it back some more, and that's, once again, a drive killer for Fairview. It's going to be 3rd and a mile. Wow. That's a killer right there. Let's see how what coaches were calling. It's definitely a passing down right now.
We could be looking for at the moment.
3rd and 12. About 3rd and 20-something.
Oh.
Wayne does not see the other
pylon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. It's easy to mistake stuff when you're this high up. People don't understand sometimes. But Fairview's going to line up in a power I, which is kind of odd. I don't know how much you can pass out of this. And it looks like he's going to throw a hot pass and a great catch and trucks the linebacker. That is a great play. That's a playmaker right there is what that is. Fairview's 3rd and a mile and needs a big pass play, but they don't toss it deep. They toss a little short 5-yard hot pass, and the guy makes the catch with the linebacker on his back, breaks the tackle, and then goes on to run over the safety and uses his speed to get outside the other defenders who have an angle on him. And that's 1st down Fairview on the 8-yard line, and looks like they're ready to score again.
That's a great way to bounce back from what happened earlier, and he dropped the ball, but it's a great way.
And it shows something about a player's character as well when you can step up in a situation like that and make a play and be counted on. It shows something that, the coaches apparently think highly of a player like that. And it looks like they're just going to hand it off up the middle to number 22 again, and he is going to go in for the score pretty much untouched. That was a great run by number 22. Number 5 comes over there and gives him a little handshake. And it's a great run. I saw great blocking by the line too. We try to mention the line as much as possible because they don't get as much credit as they always deserve. And that was just great blocking and a great run. So
I do like number 22. He's a very hard runner, and I like the way he reads his blocks and he takes it in.
Yeah. And Fairview offense playing great football right now, and it looks like Waverly's going to crowd that line because they're going to go up the middle. And number 22 breaks the tackle, and it looks like he's going to get the 2-point conversion. So it puts Fairview 14, Waverly nothing, making up for that 2-point conversion that they didn't meet earlier. And that was another great run by number 22. It looks like 22 is carrying the load right now for the Fairview offense after that spectacular catch by a receiver. And the offense is just rolling right now. Fairview's rolling, and it looks like, it could be a hopefully Waverly can bounce back from some of the mistakes that they made and make some plays and hopefully give Fairview a little better ball game right now. But it looks like Fairview definitely has the momentum and is not looking to hold back any at all. And Fairview getting some water right now, and we're looking like we're going to line up for the kickoff again.
Again, as I say, right now is the time where Waverly needs to step it up and say they're very ready to make the plays and take it back.
Alrighty, and Fairview lining up for the kickoff, and Waverly still getting ready out there. And here comes Waverly out on the field right now. Hopefully the kicker for Fairview had a great kick the very first kickoff at the beginning of the game, as you recall. And the second kick wasn't quite as deep. And hopefully he can get another one back there, because I definitely have a feeling that the special teams right now is having a major effect on the field position play. Waverly breaking a huddle and going back, and it looks like they're going to. Fairview's probably just going to boot it off. No reason to onside right now. It's not late in the game, and Fairview's got the lead. And we're ready.
3, and I think that's number
1. I think is what it was. And the ball is booted, and it looks like number 3 is going to get it, and he's running, trying to. It looks like Waverly's setting up a wall, and that's a great looking wall, and didn't quite hit the hole hard enough. And Fairview once again proving that their special teams is not a joke. Great pursuit by the Fairview kickoff team.
It was a nice wall, but as the lead blocker came in, he kind of whiffed on the block a little bit and gave an open hole, so he went in there and took it.
Most definitely, And a kick returner, like I said, is nothing without his blockers. No running back can be anything without his blockers. And all it takes is one person to mess up, and it looks like that happened for Waverly just then. One person missed his block, and a whole host of Falcons came out and they just whopped.
Unless your name is Devin Hester.
Devin Hester, not to be confused with Devin Penner. It was a great returner for Chicago Bears. And it looks like Waverly's going with the counter and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. It's a possibility. Maybe one on the play, but I'm thinking they gained nothing.
Back to the line.
Fairview defense is playing outstanding right now, wouldn't you say, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. Devin, I like how the linemen, as soon as the ball snapped, they take off, and either they are penetrating enough to make a hole for their linebackers to go through, or they get in there themselves and make the tackle.
No joke, and you were very much right at the beginning of the game when you said that you're looking for Fairview's defense to really step it up tonight, and they most definitely have. And it looks like we're going with a quarterback power right there, and it breaks one tackle, and he is going the 50, the 40, the 30, and number 23 is running him down. And it's 10. Could he score? Oh!
Dropped at the
2-yard line, and that's rough. And, that's just great effort on the Fairview defense. Got burned early on, and it very could have well turned into a touchdown for Waverly, and just great hustle by the Fairview defense to get down there and stop that before it was a score.
Yeah, it's a good job by Waverly's offense, though, how they found the hole, broke it, and took it back.
Broke it, and that's great momentum. It's 14-0. The game isn't out of reach, and it's first down and 2, and they got 4 plays to punch it in from 2 yards. And that's just great for Waverly. They're going with that shotgun formation again, and we can see what happens right here.
I think Fairview's defense.
Oh, and it's a bad snap.
64.
And he gets on the ball. I'm not quite sure who has it. I think Waverly may have it. And that's, once again, just detrimental to a drive. On the 2-yard line, and a bad snap causes it to go back to looks like the 21-yard line. And that's a loss of 20 or so yards on that play, and that's just rough, after making such a great run. And how much you feel if you're that quarterback and made that great run?
It would tear me up. But I do like, even though it wasn't really the Fairview's fault that they had fumbled or they had overthrown the snap, but I do like the hustle from the linemen to try and get the ball back.
Down there, and they may have gotten down there so quick because they jumped in. It looks like they're going to that power again. But like I was saying, that sometimes bad snaps are caused by a great jump by a lineman into the center and causes a bad snap, and that may have been where number 64 for the defense came in and tried to get onto the ball.
I do like, if you watch closely, the defensive linemen, as soon as the ball's up, they go low and hard, and they just penetrate as much as they can.
Yeah, also Waverly not giving up on this drive, gaining about 9 yards on the play. It's about third and looks like about 13 yards. They're going to go in the spread or shotgun formation one more time. We're probably looking quarterback sweep here. and they're going to quarterback power, probably Q44 or so. And the line's really pushing right now. They really need this score, and they're working for it hard. Definitely would have been a score if that bad snap wouldn't have occurred. All they needed was 2. Bad snap takes it back about 20 yards, and they've gained about 16 or so of it back.
Yeah, I am really surprised that the Fairview's defense has given up this many right now. They should be looking at the inside, trying to plug up them holes. That way they couldn't be running them powers. But it's a good job by the offense to send so many people into one hole and start blocking everybody.
And Waverly's coach's mind must be turning right now, knowing that he could have scored on this drive. And we got a false start, it looks like, on the offense. And, man, that's killer to a drive again. And it's going to be 4th down and about 11 yards now. That's just rough for a offense, man. They're moving the ball well.
They were,
but just drive killers is what happening to them right now. Bad snaps, penalties.
I think that might be a little bit of a lack of discipline that you got to step up and key on.
Yeah, Waverly's got a timeout right now, and the teams are going to go to the sidelines. Wayne, would you like to mention to me somewhat what's Fairview doing right now that could be potentially hurting them? And they got the lead right now, but this game could turn around.
I think the problem or the mistakes that they're making right now is that they're leaving a hole open when they blitz on the outside or blitz on the inside, and it's making a hole for their running back or quarterback to take it up and gain a few yards.
Yeah. What do you think the line needs to make some more penetration in there, or what kind of defense would you shift to if you were a defensive coordinator in this situation?
I would probably shift to a 5-3 and plug the inside gaps and move the outside linebackers to the outside and make sure he's not going to be running that jet sweep that he has been doing.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm not seeing too much wrong with the Fairview offense right now. One touchdown called back for a holding call, but bounced right back by a spectacular catch. And you can't ask for any more effort than what's being given right now by the Fairview offense. It's just Fairview defense has been playing great, and just a couple plays really has been hurting them this drive, but also they've been kind of lucky, I guess I would say, with the simple mistakes made by Waverly's offense, mistakes that should be honed at this point in the season, I would say. It's later, it's playoff time, and to be in the playoffs is you got to play smart football, or you're not going to make it any further. You're going to be, one and done.
Yeah, for Fairview's defense, though, they shouldn't rely on penalties by the offense. They should be capitalizing and trying as hard as they can themselves.
Most definitely.
Not trying to rely on only penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been doing a good job so far of getting in the backfield, making plays.
Yeah. It looks like Fairview is going to be setting up in this 5-3. Like you said, and pulling out the outside linebackers to plug that outside run. Got one middle linebacker, but Waverly's going with the spread formation. It's kind of confusion on the field right now. And he snaps it.
Kind of a
screen pass right now. And he's going to take it. And could he go? Oh.
Out at about
the 3-yard line. And that's just a great hard run right there. You can't really help it. You did what you can with what you had, and that definitely, I would say, probably would have been a scoring drive right there if it had not been for that bad snap at the beginning of the drive after the great run by the quarterback. But Fairview's defense stepped up, let them gain a few yards, but not enough to score. And as long as you don't let them score, I guess you're all right.
Yeah, I think that right now the Waverly defense is going to be a little bit hyped up because they're so close. They could possibly get a safety or get the ball back right there.
Yeah.
It would be great field position.
Yeah, Fairview has a awful field position right now. Not anything to do with their special teams, but just by Waverly trying to score a touchdown. And it looks like they're just going to hand it up the middle.
Looked like a fake, kind of like an overthrown kind of fake pass.
Yeah, kind of like a fake sweep and make it look like a bad snap. And it's going to be another timeout for Waverly. And if you were Fairview's offensive coordinator right now, what would you call in this situation? It's second down and about 7 yards, maybe 8, and you're real close on the end zone. It's on your heels. So
I don't really know the Fairview's offensive game plan, but if I were them, I'd probably do kind of like a play action, kind of a fake to the fullback, and have the fullback run like an out, and he probably wouldn't be very covered. So I would throw it to him.
Yeah. From what I've seen is that Fairview does incorporate a excuse me, folks, incorporate a spread offense into this middle school offense. And with the way number 22 is running the ball right now, I consider maybe possibly a jet sweep out of a shotgun spread formation. He's getting the ball outside, and he's playing good football right now. You know, he's just an athletic kid, got great size on him. It's going to take a few of the Waverly players to bring him down.
And I also like how 22 has some speed on him, so if he had ran to the left a little bit, like, he would outrun their defense.
Yeah, it looks like Fairview's going to line up in a power eye, and Waverly's obviously crowding the box, trying to stop that run up the gut that Fairview has just done. And they do run up the gut with a 40 or a 55 power and gains a couple yards. You know, great play by the defense. And they surround the ball. And it looks like we're going with another timeout for Waverly. That's their third and final timeout. Fairview not having any timeouts this half, making Waverly use all of theirs. You know, that's good. But the coaches went opposite of kind of what I say. You know, I kind of was expecting 22 to get the ball on the outside, and they kind of run them up the gut. And maybe it's a little risky for them to run it outside right now with their field position. But I think that, you know, that their offense has the athletes to accomplish that.
I think the coach for Fairview was thinking maybe that they were going to be looking for it and they were going to be reading it, so they were kind of like waiting for the jet sweep or for 22 to bounce it outside. So he ran it up the gut, try and gain a few yards just straight forward.
Yeah, we would like at this time, folks, to apologize for not knowing some of the players' names. We don't have a roster in front of us to know some of the players, so we're just doing what we can. If you see your child on there, we're sorry about not knowing who he is, and we do like to apologize for that, but acknowledge that the great football that they're playing. And it looks like we're getting back underway on the field. Fairview's offense lining up in a spread offense, going under center though, and this is, you know, a lot different from what I've seen before. And they're gonna run outside with number 22, and he breaks it outside like I thought he would. Great move, great cut, and just tries, you know, and that's a first down right there. That's a great one. Getting a little slow after that hit, but you know, it's a great run. And let's get him back into the huddle because he's definitely a player you don't want to lose. And they may have not lined up in a formation that I would have predicted, but they did try to get the 22 on the outside, which, you know, obviously their playmaker right now.
Something I like about Fairview is, like, even not the starters, they all go hard. They're always going, giving their best effort, and that's how they're so good at the moment. They're always a good team because everyone at Fairview always goes so hard. Not even the starters, everybody's going hard. Fairview
having all three of their timeouts and Waverly having none, kind of expecting just to run the ball right now and try to run some clock off into the half is what I would expect them to do. They're going to hand the ball off, and it's going to be a reverse. And 23 just breaking away. That's great speed right there, and he's going, making a cutback, great cut, making another cut. And
way to take the know that 5 was behind him and taking the block.
Yeah, making the block, and he gets stopped about the 30. And that's a great play. I think I saw a flag.
It might be a holding call
earlier on the field, and that's unfortunate because number 23 had about a 50 or so yard run right there, but ran about 100 yards to get it.
Yeah.
Running laterally there. He's tired right now. You can tell anybody would be. That's a great run. And it's going to be brought back. That's just unfortunate. That's the second big play for Fairview tonight that gets brought back because of a penalty.
I do like their aggressiveness, though, even though that they might have a false starter, but you know that they're going to fire off low and hard.
Yeah. You know, once again, drive killers.
Yeah.
You got to limit the penalties in order to succeed in a game. That put Fairview on the Waverly's 30-yard line in order to score again before the half. And that could be huge going into half up 21.
Yeah.
Let's see if Fairview can continue the drive, and it's going to be back.
Could have possibly been another touchdown or another 2-point conversion because the number 23 and number 22 were just extremely good, hard runners.
Oh, great runners. And, we haven't seen much of a passing game from Fairview right now besides the one great third down conversion pass they had earlier. But even then it was just a little hot pass. Didn't get to see much of the quarterback's arms. We're going to line up in the spread formation, Fairview is. We could be looking pass right here. They're going to line up, and it's going to be a jet sweep to number 23. He tries to make a move outside, and that's just a great play by the outside linebacker, reading the play and wrapping up to make the tackle. That's just a fantastic play right there.
Yeah, he kind of gave it away since they ran that play twice in a row, and I think it's a very, very good job by the linebacker, the outside linebacker, to realize.
To read the play.
And realize.
Looks like we're going to be paused for a Fairview timeout right now. And, Fairview trying to spread Waverly out a little bit. They got the speed to make a difference in the game right now. And could be a long night for Waverly is what I'm guessing. Fairview having big plays and getting them called back through silly penalties, something that I would guess would be remedied in the second half. Shouldn't have those penalties. The coach would probably harp on them.
Yeah.
At the half, I know I would, because you can't have things like that as a player. Just got to be smarter. If the guy's not, and it looks like sometimes that the penalties are happening nowhere near the play. So the blocks that they're trying to make aren't necessary.
Yeah. You should.
If you can't, if the block's not going to help the play, there's no need in trying to hold,
or make a late hit,
or a late hit, just silly penalties. Now, if you can get a good clean block on them, then definitely try to make a play. You want to play hard, whistle to whistle. But if there's, if it's not going to bear on the play and there's a risk of making a penalty there, then you definitely would not attempt to go for that. Fairview's going to come back out in a power I offense, and if I were Waverly, I'd try to stack the box because if I was to guess, it's going to be a power to number 22 or a counter to 23 off a power. And it's a power to 22 right up the middle, and he's just running real hard right now. It's taking 3 and 4 guys to tackle him, and the linemen are making great holes for him.
I love how the linemen are executing very well, besides the penalties, but they are executing very well, making their blocks, making sure the hole is open. I could have ran a truck through that hole, right, honestly.
Yeah, that's a big hole, and I think Fairview's going to go with another timeout right here. In this timeout right now, what do you think? What do you think they're talking about in the huddle there, Wayne?
They're really talking about how they're gonna capitalize and what they need to do, and to make sure that they're gonna go and tack, fire off low for the line, and punch it in there.
Yeah, Fairview's up right now, and they're back deep into their own territory, and it's a lot. It's gonna be a coaching issue right now. Got to make some smart calls during the game in order to. Make sure that they don't get pinned back for safety. As we all know, that happens more often than a lot of people like to think. If you get punt, a bad snap, some bad things can happen. So let's hope that we get some good calls here and put these Falcons into a scoring position for the game.
And I know that you might want to, you think that it might be a passing situation, so you would try and pass it, and the defense would probably be looking for it. So maybe even a run, just to kind of like a reverse psychology kind of thing.
Yeah. And the Falcons and Waverly come back out onto the field again. It looks like Fairview's going to line up in an I formation again. Fairview Middle School doesn't seem to be running the typical I formation. They like to motion with their tailback a little more than just a straight power I would normally do. They motion the wing back, and it's a sweep out to the right. Oh, and it looks like a sweep pass, and what a throw that was, and it picked off by number 18 for Waverly, and he's going. He could go. He gets a block downfield and just makes a tackle at the Fairview 25-yard line, and that was a good throw, but the defender made an excellent play on the ball.
Yeah, I like how the defender's players moved up to try and block for their running back, I guess you could say, since he intercepted it. And it's a good play by their defense.
Yeah, you can't really complain too much about the wide receivers on that play. The only thing I would say is, if you know that ball is about to be picked off, you need to go up there and at least try to make a play on it so that maybe that the defender doesn't have such an easy interception, or maybe that you can get a pass, make a big play. And once again, that'd be huge momentum for the Falcons. Waverly lining up in a Cougar-type offense with linemen out there. They're going to throw a screen pass, and number 64, I believe, makes an excellent play on the ball, tackling at a loss for 5 yards on the play. Great read by the defensive lineman right there. Make sure he's using his responsibilities.
I like how he took a 45-degree angle to the ball and just tacked it.
Yeah, angle tackling is key. And it looks like that's going to be it for the half for the Fairview Middle School.
The Waverly Middle School Wildcat 0.
Yeah. Is that the young kid?
ladies and gentlemen, your Fairview Middle School cheerleader.
We still have like a full battery. We got 12 minutes on that thing. Yeah. Let's see if the opposing cheerleaders have been something. Okay. So let's switch tapes after the cheerleaders. All right, I'll get. Do you want me to get the opposing cheerleaders too? Yeah. Okay. Are you the cheerleaders? Yeah. Well, actually, no. Oh yeah, we're getting the cheerleaders. Shoot. Can you shoot? Okay. Yeah. It's kind of hard to really get shot with it. Yeah.
We're here back in the second half. It's third quarter, and the Fairview Falcons will be receiving the kickoff. Right now, Fairview seems to be dominating this game pretty handedly. I think this is the first time that they've been on kick return, so we can get to see some of their special teams. We haven't seen a lot of special teams for Fairview tonight, as they haven't really punted the ball, and they don't kick field goals, so this will be good. Good to see. The ball is off, and it's a short kick. Somebody on the second line gets it, number 22, and he makes a move, and looks like a face mask on the field, but I don't know if it'll be called. It looked to me from here, Wayne, that was a face mask beyond a shadow of a doubt, grabbing that face mask to bring the tackle down. But a great play, not getting beat off a juke move right there. The ball will be spotted at the Jacket 48-yard line, or the Falcon 48-yard line, my bad.
You said earlier, Devin, I like how you said that special teams wins ball games. Their onside kick kind of put them in the Fairview in a good field position to try and score. Yeah, it's true. It only takes a couple plays, and you're inside the other team's territory, which is great. A lot of games are won that way. Puts a lot less pressure on your offense to make some plays, and the ball is handed off to number 22, who makes a great cut. Great hole by the lineman. Yes, and he is gone. And he looks like he could go all the way, beating everybody out, and that is just a great display. Athleticism right there. It kind of demoralizes the Waverly defense right there. That was a big play. Great run by number 22. It was a real simple, basic play. They motioned that fullback to the other side of the formation to kind of draw the defense the other way, and just made a quick handoff to the other side, and he makes a great cut and great blocking by the line, and all the rest was done by the speed of number 22. That was just a great play. And that's a great asset to have, is to make defenders miss whenever you're running by. It's a great athleticism by 22. Yeah, and like Wayne said and like I've said, the line has been blocking great tonight for the running backs here. And that was a great call by the coaching staff right there. Looks like we're going to be going for two again. And from what it looks like, the ball is probably going to be going right up that. Oh, no, and I'm wrong. It's a pass. And it is overthrown. Totally fooled me. It would have fooled the defense. They had their two fullbacks lined up like up backs to lead block. Thing they probably call smash. Yeah. That's what they call it. And they booted left to draw that defense off. And they had the man beat. He had the defender beat, but just a bad pass. And you can't help that sometimes. Sometimes that just happens. But yeah. Maybe if 85 would have ran just a little bit harder, or if he maybe cut off a few yards off of that little out right there, he might have been able to make the catch. He probably didn't realize he was that open. He was very much wide open. He probably wasn't expecting the ball to be thrown like that. But like I said, the Fairview offense is rolling tonight, and their defense is stopping Waverly like no other. We're gonna see Fairview kick off again, and Fairview has been pursuing the kickoff very well tonight. Having a great boot on the very first kick, down to about the 5-yard line, and the Waverly guy trying to pull it out and trying to make a play, and they get just pinned deep into their own territory, and Fairview capitalizes on that earlier in the game with the score. Waverly's going to be back to receive the kick again, and you can see that the Waverly return guys are back further than most middle school return men are. They're quite a ways back, knowing that this kicker for Fairview can boot it back. Fairview has been known the last few years to have some pretty good kickers, but they try to pull the soccer players out of systems, and trying to get the kickers in with Eric Kazecki for the high school, kicking also for the middle school.
and then Caleb Duke and Tyler Emler kicking now for the high school, all products of Fairview Middle School. Looks like Fairview Middle tries to onside or pooch kick it, and it goes down about the 38-yard line, the 39-yard line into Waverly's territory. So once again, this Waverly offense will try to come out and make something. Wayne, in the first half, it seems when Waverly would try to move the ball, they did with their quarterback. Probably 3 out of the 4 plays every down, he's running the ball. And I'm looking for them to try to keep doing that. He's had some openings and just bad plays. They could have scored. Fairview's defense has been shutting them down all night. And like I said, that quarterback's going for the ball, and Fairview's defense is all over it.
Kind of ran into his defender a little bit there and kind of threw him off his path.
It looked like he had the outside sealed. They had those 3 skill players lined up out there in a bunch formation to kind of seal off that outside. And if he had bounced it out, it looks like he could have made a play. But you never know. Fairview has a very fast defense. It could have made a big play out there, even for a bigger loss. So he may have made the right decision. You never know.
Though, sometimes your coaches get mad at you when you don't follow, if you bounce outside.
Oh, I do know, actually.
You bounce outside instead of running to the hole as hard as you can.
And he did. He hit the hole hard. And that's all you can ask sometimes when you don't have blocking. It's this defense for Fairview is very, very big, and you can't help it. It looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. And if you're Waverly right now, I think I would be changing up my calls a little bit. They're showing tendencies a lot and giving their quarterback the ball a lot. I would be willing to say that in that huddle right now, they're talking about the play they're going to run. And I would say they're probably going to run a sweep left with the quarterback. That's just my call for that one. But I've been wrong many times tonight, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I do believe that the defense is probably going to be looking for the quarterback, and they've just been playing off of him the entire game, and that's how they've been making so many tackles and reads, because they've given the quarterback 9 out of 10 balls.
Yeah, and Fairview's defense has not been fooled on that. They've been playing hard. Not a lot of pressure on Fairview right now as they're up big on Waverly, and they're still in the Waverly's territory. So, there's not a lot of pressure right now. Fairview's probably feeling very confident, which is a big thing in a game. Confidence is key in a lot of ways. If you got confidence going into it, that could go a long way, even if you're not the better team. But it looks like tonight that Fairview is a better team, just really outmanning Waverly in a bunch of ways. Fairview wants it, I think. You can just tell.
And that just puts a lot ease on your mind whenever you're up by such a big lead that it makes it so much easier. There's not as much pressure on you.
Yeah. Waverly coming out in that Cougar formation once again. Probably expecting a screen pass right here from the formation, but not quite sure. And it is, and it fakes the screen pass and throws it deep. And Fairview eats it up still. Fairview not being fooled by the Waverly offense. Waverly has tricked us several times before, and we've played some football in our time. We know how to play some ball, and they tricked us, which I guess is in a way a good thing. They've been showing tendencies, and so you can expect to see some of the same things. But as soon as they get away from that same thing, is the play that they can beat you on. Maybe the strategy that they had going into this. He faked that screen pass, which I called out, and he just chunked it deep, hoping that cornerback would bite on the screen.
But great coverage, by the way.
Oh, it was great. Bunching out to the left again here. You're probably looking at a quarterback sweep once again. And it's a reverse. And the end losing its contained, but linebacker coming up and making a play there. Great play by the linebacker, reading that and not getting beat on the outside.
Yeah, Devin, did you see how they had 3 other people in pursuit of the ball? They saw it, and they made 45-degree angles and made the tackle.
Yeah, I also like how the end got beat originally on the play, not keeping his contained, but still trying hard, running the ball very hard in order to make that tackle. Waverly coming out in a little I don't even know what you kind of wishbone offense, but shifting into that punt formation that they had. Ball snapped, and the Waverly kicker gets it off. And it's not a very good kick. Not going to be a return on this one. It goes out of bounds.
I think he might have kicked it with the toe of his foot.
Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe trying to kick it, get on the side of his foot to get that spiral thing on it. Sometimes you mess that up. But Fairview's going to get the ball in a pretty good field position right now. They definitely have won the field position battle of this game, and probably time of possession as well. I don't have stats in front of me, but I would say that time of possession right now is on Fairview's side, letting them control the game in more aspects than Waverly would probably like.
Like I said earlier, whenever you're in the lead, you have so much more confidence. You're a lot more relaxed, and there's not less pressure on you. So you ultimately do better whenever you're on the top.
Yeah, you can look out on the field right now, and you can see Fairview's out there. They're running to get to the ball, running to get their playoff, and Waverly's kind of dead right now. You know, if I was to say, I don't think Waverly will get back in this one just because of their players' attitudes right now. But I know you never know. All it takes is one play. It's a basic up the middle, and he fights for about 10 yards on the play. It was a good run by number 22. Number 22 seems to be the premier back for Fairview Middle tonight, having a few great runs. Not especially fast, you know, not blazing speed, but he just runs hard.
Yeah, he had that ability to make that defender miss that first initial contact. He broke free, and that's just pure athleticism.
Yeah, it's you know, it's God-given talent right there. It's going to be second down and about 2 for Fairview Middle, and they're going to come out in the I formation once again. We're probably expecting to change it up a little bit. 22's gotten the ball the last few times, so probably looking to give it to number 23 or something. And they do pitch it out to number 23, and that's another great run by Fairview Middle. We got great blocking on the outside by number 22 and the lineman. I love seeing when linemen go downfield to make a block, and that's what they're doing. That's just great effort, and that's how you win ball games, is having your lineman go the extra mile to make a play happen.
And great read by the back to read his blocks and make a play.
Great move. And Waverly's defense just does not appear to want any of it tonight from Fairview Middle School. They do not want it at all. Fairview bringing it. Not doing a whole lot of anything special. Just, you know, I think it's just Fairview outmanning Waverly right now. If Waverly's going to have to make a big play and make a momentum swing if they want a chance in this ball game right now. Fairview lining up in the similar offense as before, and they're going to just hand it off a power to number 23. And Waverly,
great pursuit.
Great pursuit to the ball and gets a stop finally on the Fairview Middle offense. Fairview's middle offense has been rolling all night. That's probably the best defensive play that Waverly's had on them. Only gained about a yard, which is good because they're deep into their territory. So let's hope Waverly can take that and say, you know, hey, what? We can stop this Fairview offense. Let's do it. Let's win this game. Like, this is a Middle Tennessee Conference game. It's a big game. Winner advances. So I know Waverly wants to advance. Fairview going to the championship every single year.
Yeah.
They have a big target on their chest right now. Everybody wants to beat them. And let's just, you know, hopefully Waverly can muster up enough courage to do that. They're going to motion number 23. And it's going to be, and number 5 making a great run. Running hard, breaking about 4 tackles on that one.
Good job.
That was just a basic jet sweep. Basic. We call that a Rocket 5-0.
Yeah.
At the high school level, it's where you just motion the slot receiver and fake that jet sweep and just hand it a basic to that running back. Probably pulling the opposite guard to kick out that end. I didn't quite see that, but maybe, you know, that running back just ran hard through the hole. Getting a few licks laid on him by that Waverly defense, but not going down. He gains about 8 on the play, and it's just a great run right there by number 5.
Good hard running.
Good run. They're going to line up in that I offense again and motion number 22 to the left side, and they're going to basic to number 23, or, you know, power to number 23 again. And that's a good play to run right there. And a lot of times you short yardage, you motion your opposite back and to lead block, and then you have your fullback coming in there to lead block too. It's no different than just lining up in a stack eye, but you motion your back. So you can do various things with them and just trying to get that short yardage.
I liked how the running back didn't go down, and he fought as hard as he could, and he still didn't go down. That's good hard running. That's a good mentality to have.
Yeah, and like I said, Waverly needed a big play to get momentum going for them. And if to stop Fairview on a 3rd and short would be huge momentum, and even to stop them on a 4th and short if it comes up. We're coming out for a measurement right now, but if it doesn't, you know, is short of a first down, and Waverly can stop them on 4th down, you could see some big plays happening on the offensive side of the ball because they want to win this game. And it looks like it's short, 4th and inches for Fairview offense, and let's see what they will pull out. I'm thinking just a basic up the middle, you know, or a wedge. Has always been the classic call. on the 4th and inches for Fairview Middle School.
This is where you see, Devin. This is where you see where what the Waverly defense is made of, what they can stop, and how hard they can go in order to stop that much yardage.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, like you say, we're gonna see right here if Waverly really wants to win this game. Fairview gonna come out and in a little wishbone type offense. We're gonna see what they do here. I'm just guessing they're gonna go right up the middle, and Waverly's thinking the exact same thing, plugging those A gaps up, and they do. They're not gonna fullback basic, but they're gonna just do a little quarterback sneak, and he most definitely gets that first down. What a great push by the quarterback.
And again, blocking, it was a grade A. It was awesome, and I love to see how as soon as the ball is fired that they go 100%.
Yeah, and once again, Wayne, it just appeared that the Fairview offense wanted it more. Waverly, his defense was set up perfectly to defend that, plugging up those A gaps and B gaps, not leaving anywhere to go. But the quarterback got his shoulder pads down and pushed as hard as he could and got that first down and some.
I do admit it might be a little bit harder for a defense because they have to watch the ball, and
yeah,
offense knows when it's coming, right when it's coming.
They're motion number 22 to the left side again. And, it's going to be a reverse. And 22 breaking on the outside, using that speed once again. Breaking and, stopped short of the touchdown to about the 3-yard line. A great want-to by the Waverly defender right there.
I also love the great fake that the number 23 or the fullback had. It was an awesome fake. They bid on it and everything.
Yeah, Fairview has been motioning that running back to that left side all night for that lead block for number 23, and they faked it, and 22 came back around for the reverse, and Waverly's defense bit hard on the fake, and that's good play calling right there. Just you gotta give credit to the coaches right there because they set that up perfectly and it worked well. I think they were wanting to score there, but a Waverly defender shoelaced the running back right there, and just great effort by the Waverly defense at the end when they could have given up very easily. It's going to be first down and 3 for Fairview. And they're going to pitch it out to number 23 again. And he hops over the pile and gets there, and he wanted that touchdown bad.
Kind of used 52 as a pick, in basketball. And just ran through those two blockers right there and made a touchdown.
That was a great run right there. And once again, Fairview offense is just rolling over this Waverly defense.
It's obvious that the offense is well executing, and it's very working. It's working very well.
Yeah, very well. Fairview going to come out. We've seen various things on this on these 2-point conversions for Fairview. Looks like they're going to just line up in that I formation once again. We'll see what's happened. They try to pass it on the last 2-point conversion and overthrew it, if you remember that, Wayne. But this time they're just going to hand it up the middle, and 22 fights for it and gets it easily. Great hard run by number 22. I like how he's a taller kid, and if he wanted to, he could go through that whole kind of lackadaisical and stand straight up because he's a taller kid. But if he gets his shoulder pads down and fights for his yards, which is a difficult thing to do for some taller running backs.
I like again, blocking is grade A. I think it might be a little bit harder for the defense. They're watching the ball, and I think that as soon as they're watching the ball, and as soon as it snapped, they're waiting a second and then going, and it's giving the offensive line a little bit more of an edge.
Yeah, I think one thing right now too, you can tell Fairview has a little bit of pep in their step, and Waverly doesn't. It seems like Waverly's just tired and worn out right now, and Fairview is ready to roll. They are going to go as hard as they can till the end of the game, and that's what it looks like right now. And that can make the difference in a lot of games. It's just your conditioning level is, how much are you conditioned and how far are you willing to go? Are you at fourth quarter conditioning or are you at second quarter conditioning?
And a lot of great running backs and a lot of great football players, they condition on their own, not only in practice. They go out on Saturdays and weekends instead of partying and goes and they work their butt off in order to get in shape.
Yeah, that's what they do. Once again, we noticed that the kick returners for Waverly are back much further than you would expect them. The ball is kicked off, and they're going to just wedge it up the middle on this kickoff, and Fairview special teams gets down the field again, number 64.
A little bit of a shoestring tackle.
Shoestring tackle, but getting down the field for a big guy.
Good job.
He is making some plays that you don't normally see big guys make. The only real fault I've seen on him all night is he miscontained on one play, but still fought to go and make that tackle downfield, and he ended up making the tackle. And he's playing great ball. You know, you don't always get to give linemen credit because they're not the ones scoring touchdowns and getting the ball and things like that. But you see them working their butts off to make these plays, and they don't always get credit. And we'd like to give credit where credit's due.
On those stat sheets, you don't see how many blocks you had.
Yeah. Oh, and a flag on the field. We'll see what's being called. I'm thinking false start. Looks like a lineman came up before while the quarterback was under center. We'll see what the call is. And I'm not quite sure what that was, Wayne. Are you? I couldn't quite see it. But it's on Waverly. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st and 15 for Waverly's offense, already pretty deep into their own territory. And I think one thing that has made a difference in this game is the special teams battle. Fairview's kick team always get it back deep into their own territory, which has made it easy, put the pressure on their offense, on Waverly's offense. And they're going to quarterback sweep it, and he gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. Great run by the quarterback. Fairview's defense once again swarming to the ball. They are pursuing great tonight.
And they kind of set up their defense in order to stop the quarterback from running. There's really have been no variation at all in the quarterback either going. He's involved in like every play. He hasn't handed it off very much at all, but it's kind of obvious that they're probably going to give it to him.
Yeah, and that just, one thing, when your coaches are calling plays over and over and over again, even though they're not working, and you can still gain some yards on it, that's a testament to how good of an athlete a person can be. The quarterback making plays on his own a lot of the times. He's doing a great job.
And, again, you might need to know the basics before you can actually start.
And they're going to throw a bubble pass out, and Fairview's defense is all over that. It's going to be about a loss of 10 on that play. Who was that? Number 85, making a great read on the ball. One thing about Fairview is maybe they're not necessarily better athletes than Waverly all the time, but maybe it's just that they are
they're in the right places.
They're in the right
time.
places. They're making great reads on the ball. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the quarter. Here in the third quarter. Right now it's Fairview Middle 28, Waverly 0.
And maybe the reason why they keep running the quarterback so much is because they want their linemen and they want the receivers to know exactly what to do on that play.
Yeah.
And they want to know, they want to have so much more practice that is going to be flawless when they actually break it out.
Yeah. And it looks like the coaches did a great job of scouting this Waverly offense this week. Because the Fairview defense, like I've said many times, they're just all over the place, making great reads on the ball, and reads that'll, once they get into high school, will benefit them, because a lot of the time, even though you could be a great athlete, if you can't read a play well, you could get beat. You could get beat bad. So
we've all had our little moments.
We all do. And you just hope sometimes, if you make a bad play, you just got to have a short memory. And that's one thing that in the next few years Waverly should work on, is just having a short memory.
Getting over it and making a play and make it up.
Yeah, making that up. Fairview clearly dominating this game. What do you think some keys are to that was, Wayne?
I think that Fairview, as you said, Evan, was very well. They scouted Waverly. They scouted Waverly really well, and they were well prepared, and they knew exactly what Waverly was going to throw at them.
Yeah. The offense coming back out on the field. It looks to be about 3rd and a mile, Wayne. Fairview's line making 2 shifts right in a row, trying to confuse this Waverly offense. He's going under center, and he snaps, and it's gonna be a pass right there. And once again, great plays by the Fairview defense. The end right then, hitting the quarterback, which is what they always teach you to do as an end. Plays break down really easily because one man doesn't do his job. And one of the end's main priorities, besides keeping containment, is making sure that quarterback knows you're there at all times, and that and made a hit there, slowed that quarterback down, and one of the other linemen came and made a tackle. And it's just Waverly's offense is suffering, yard loss after yard loss after yard loss. And they're going to line up in that same formation again. It's 4th down, and they're probably going to shift into that punt formation. And they do. And if Fairview can just catch the punt, not let it bounce. Great punt, by the way. They could be in great field position.
And right here is where you figure out as a
that's
team.
a great run by number 85. He could break it. And they call him. He stepped out of bounds. Had the blocking downfield to take that all the way, but made a great return on the ball to about the 20 or 25-yard line. Once again, putting the Fairview Falcons in great position to score.
As Waverly right now, if as a player, I would always give my best effort, and I would want to prove it was something that I would feel like I'd have to prove, is to prove that I'm going to go hard no matter what situation I'm in, no matter how badly I'm going to beat, I'm going to go 100%.
Yeah, you can definitely see the excitement on a Fairview sideline right now. Fairview pulling in their second string is what it looks like. Number 8 in at quarterback, number 20 at one of the running backs, and number 9, I believe, at the other running back. They're going to motion the number 9, and they're just going to hand it up the middle. Fairview probably trying to just run the clock right now. You don't, as a coach, you don't want to seem like a jerk sometimes because, Fairview's already up 28-0, and you don't want to
risk them taking it back or trying to be show off and throwing a bad pass.
Or just run the score up when you know that the game's already in hand. He did put the second string in. It looks like Waverly still has their first team in, but still, no trick plays. Just kind of keep it basic. And also you want to keep the clock running. Get these boys home nice and safe. Looks like we're going to have a timeout, Waverly. And Waverly, not quite sure what the timeout's for. Probably because they know that the Fairview offense is just going to run the clock as much as they can. But if you're Waverly's defense, right now you would try to make a play. You have the advantage skill-wise. Your players have more experience than probably some of the offensive players on the second team side for offense for Fairview. Just try to make a play on the ball. You can get an interception, take it back 70-something yards. It's a big play. And there's still time in this game to at least give Waverly a chance. They may not have enough time to pull out 28 points in a quarter, but you never know.
And right now, as a defense or as an offense, I wouldn't want to give up a play. Right now, I think this would be a good score to end with, and if you try and show off or you try and maybe a hero and you end up messing up, then they take it back for 7.
Waverly leaving the A-gaps open, and with Fairview probably running a basic to that side. And they're going to run a reverse, and it's a fumble on the play. And the Fairview offense gets back on it quickly. Looks like there was some confusion right there, not quite knowing if it was a fumble or what. People kind of just, what I noticed, just standing there looking at the ball. I know one of the things we, as high school players, always get yelled at for is not recognizing that there's a ball on the ground. And they do not like that too much at all. And maybe, it's something that this young offense needs to recognize, is that when there's a ball on the ground, when something happens, and you get on it quick. You get on it quick. And that's a part of just being young. I think number 8's a 6th grader. In there as a second-string quarterback, and that's always rough, being that young and getting into a varsity game against a first team. They're going to run a power up the middle, and a good run, about 3 or 4 yards on the play by number 9. And he makes a great read, great blocking by the line again. It seems like this second-team line is going to block just as well as the first-team line does. And that's a good thing. Fairview has not always been known for having real big linemen. And it looks like we've got some size on this middle school team, and they're not only do they have size, but they got great feet, and they seem to be getting their blocks real well tonight and making some gaps.
Good coaching.
Some gaps for the running backs to run through. Fairview Middle has a new head coach this season, like I said before. Coach Hughes, the former head coach for 12 years for Fairview Middle, is now the head coach for the high school. And you can see a lot of Coach Hughes' offensive scheme still in this Fairview Middle defense, even though there's a new head coach. It's a boot left to number 8, and he's got some room to run. And the little cornerback off for Waverly makes a great play stopping him. And that's another thing that they teach you right there. If you can't bring the guy down by yourself, hold him up.
Hold of him.
Grab some cloth and hold him
comes.
up and get some help. And if you're holding that guy up, you better get ready to to take a hit, and number 8, the young 6th grader, took that hit just fine, and it looks like it's going to be first down Waverly right now. Fairview also going to bring out their second team defense right now. And let's just hope, let's see if Waverly can get some plays off and at least, get a touchdown or something. That'd be nice to see. The offense have a little success tonight. I'm not quite sure if Waverly's going to put in their second team or not, and if they do, it looks like they are. They have a new quarterback in, so maybe we'll see some different play calling because it's not the same quarterback. He's going to go under center. He's just going to hand it up the middle to get that push. And a great push by the line. Looks like all you saw was white jerseys coming through there, and not a lot of black jerseys around the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot good snap, good jump off the snap right there for the offensive line.
Yeah, very good. And that's one thing Waverly is trying to push right now. Just want to go down with some pride if they're going to go down. That's an admirable trait. Is that what the word?
Yeah.
Is that the word? Admirable trait. If you're down this much right now, just not giving up, and that's a thing that will take them not a long way, not just in football but in life. Waverly going under center again, and motion their back, and he's gonna looks like it was a fake reverse, but Fairview's defense all over it again. Great containment by the end and great play coming up by the linebacker right there. It's gonna be third down and about 13 or 12 for the Waverly offense, and Waverly offense just not being able to produce a lot tonight. Fairview's defense is playing fantastic, just making plays, gang tackles, just going to the ball, running to the ball hard, and making some plays. Waverly not throwing the ball a lot tonight, so the DBs, probably playing up a little more than they usually do because they don't have to worry about getting beat on the pass.
Fairview's defense has played a near flawless game tonight.
Yeah. Waverly's still staying with this simple offense, and it looks like they're actually gonna go with the reverse this time. And he's making a great cut. Great
read on his blocks.
Great read by his blocks for number 24, and good play calling. As you recall, the play before, they ran a similar play, but they faked it to that guy, hoping to draw the defense off. But Fairview's defense did not, staying very disciplined. And this time they do go with the reverse. And you see that the running back makes some great reads. Not necessarily a bad play by Fairview's defense. They were on the ball. The running back has great vision and made a great play on the ball. So it looks like it's going to be about fourth down, and Waverly looks like they could be going for it. I'm not quite sure why you would do that. It's kind of deep into this territory. Wouldn't want to risk another score, but they may be going back into that punt formation like we see them do.
No, I think they're going for it.
And it looks like they're going for it. And he's going for a pass.
Oh, it is blocked by number 60.
And it looks like he's not calling for a fumble, even though the ball went backwards. He motioned that it is Waverly's ball still. They're going to get the ball spot, and Fairview's offense will take over at about the 25-yard line, or the 27 it looks like. We'll see if Fairview's second-team offense can punch it in for another score right here. And it always feels good when you're a second-string player and you're varsity did well enough that you can even get in the game to also score in a game. That's always a great feeling. And let's see if that's some of these guys can experience it. If they do score, a lot of them, it's probably their first varsity touchdown in a game. And that's always an exciting feeling, your first big touchdown. Fairview coming in, lining up under center, not going to do anything too risky, just trying to keep it simple. And they are just going to do a power right up the middle to number 33. Ran straight up through the hole, but did get great blocking. Gained about 4 or 5 yards on the play. It's a good, if you're picking about 4 or 5 yards up on a run, that's pretty good.
As a Waverly defense, I would probably shift into those gaps and fire off and hit that guard or that tackle before they can hit you and clog up that hole. It's kind of something that they've been doing over and over again, so let's see what they do.
Yeah. Fairview offense is, definitely showing some tendencies right now, as you do with the young offense. They say what you run is limited because of their experience. And like you said, Wayne, it seems like they would walk some linebackers up in this gap because that's where Fairview keeps running. And they do end up walking a linebacker into that gap. But Fairview runs to the other side. That's just great play calling. You know, if Waverly coach is going to recognize a tendency that's being shown by a Fairview offense.
It's
And that looks like it could be the end of the game. We got about a minute left, folks. 58 seconds, and it's going to be Fairview 28, Waverly 0. I expect them to take a knee right now, not to punch anything in if they don't have to, get anybody hurt. But it was a great game. Wouldn't you say, Wayne?
Yeah, I do. I think that Fairview had played lights out tonight, offensively and defensively. They capitalized on big plays, and they made sure that they were going to keep Waverly in check.
Most definitely. Fairview playing a great game, both offensively making great big plays, and their defense coming up on big plays. And Fairview does take a knee on that play, and it was a good game. Waverly fought hard until the end, and you can't ask for anything more than that. You know, sometimes you just get outmanned on a particular night, and Fairview, you know, definitely took advantage of the mistakes that the Waverly offense had, and their defense to, you know, take advantage of the missed blocks that Waverly had on offense. And so that's just great playing, great coaching, and great playing by the Fairview Middle Falcons. So we'd like to thank you folks for watching tonight. My name's Devin Penner, and I'm here with Wayne Jaworski, and we are signing off.